Hey guys, welcome back to the second half of our season of video game music reviews. And this game I'm going to be talking about is pretty much the last time I'll be mentioning this game, at least until I play the other games, and that is Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. So, um, my feeling on this game is pretty much, I think everybody's feeling on this game, closure. After so many years of playing the Metal Gears, after so many years and so many consoles getting to this fourth, and in my opinion, the last true chapter of the entire Solid Snake Metal Gear series, um, I can safely say this was the most satisfying story and gameplay that I have ever played. As for the music, I'll get to that a little later, but pretty much what I said earlier sums it all. Closure. Everything came to full circle. Once again, you're playing as the iconic character, Solid Snake, and this time it's a little bit more personal, a little bit more emotional, and the reason is because you're seeing your character age right before your eyes. Something happened to him where he's aging rapidly, and you don't even know what's going on. When you see this character, you are surprised of just how long it has been, and you're wondering, are you still going to be played as Snake? Because let's be honest, we all seen the bait and switch before with Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, but rest assured, you are playing the character, and I like most of the games that's happened right after 2. You're really playing just to see the jump cuts more so than the gameplay. The gameplay is there, it's good, it's fun, but I have to give a little word of warning. If you haven't played any of the Metal Gear Solid games, you will be lost and you're not going to like this game. And the reason why is that this is not a game for newcomers. Just like 3 and even just like 2, you really have to be involved with the game from day one. Play the game and play the game throughout. 1, 2, 3, leading down to 4, and even if necessary, if you can find them, which you can now with the high definition, you can actually play the first 2 Metal Gear Solid games before it was Metal Gear Solid. It was Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. So in all, this is pretty much for the diehard fans, the fans who have followed this series through and through, and those are the fans who are going to understand what they're getting into, know what they're going to get into, and actually appreciate this game for what they're doing. Basically, this is hugely story-driven. The cutscenes of this game is long, very, very, very long, to the point where you actually see the final ending, where without really giving up to it, gives you a big reveal, and it makes playing Metal Gear Solid 3 even more rewarding because everything again comes into full circle. The gameplay I had no problem with. Uh, it was a fun game. It was a bittersweet ending for me. You had 2 endings, of course, the bad ending and the supposedly good ending, but to me it's still a sad ending because you really realize that this is actually the end of the original Metal Gear Solid franchise, unless you want to count Metal Gear Solid 5, which, in my opinion, I'm not. At least not yet, anyhow. But to me, when I played this game, and seeing all these characters from the original Metal Gear Solid game come back in this game, it really, really says a lot. It really says a lot because a lot of stories are going to get solved. Maylene is back, the Colonel is back. You have, Ronicon is back. You also have Naomi is back. All the characters that we have grown attached to from the first game have started to surface in this game, and I wouldn't have it any other better because a lot of the stories did come to an end. You would have Meryl. Meryl is back in this game, and man, she's even more badass in this game than she was in the previous game, where she was green and really wasn't a character that you actually admire too much. But this was, she was more. She was more controlling, more of a powerful, well fleshed out character. And despite the stupid pose they did to introduce her team, you really did like how these characters evolve. Even Raiden, a character that many people had negative thoughts of was well flushed out in this. You really wanted to see how his character would end up. And I have to say, they did a tremendously good job on that, which further justifies him having his own spin-off series, which you all know, as he's just this badass ninja in Metal Gear Rising. So I'm actually happy to see this character well flushed out and have his own story, his own series going on, in which, from what I hear from a lot of reviews, they didn't disappoint. So he's been well flushed out in the character, and the cutscenes with him fighting Vamp is well done. I really was into it, seeing this guy. I just put the control down to see where this story is going to get onto. Pretty much the story revolves again around Metal Gear, but most importantly, it revolves around the war economy, which is kind of scary just saying that, but this is what's going on. A lot of people have a lot of stakes in these war economies, and for reasons I still hope that never happens. It's what makes the world goes round, and Snake pretty much is trying to put a stop to it, but most importantly trying to put one stop to once and for all to Ocelot. Ocelot has become a major factor, more than I actually realized, more than Liquid Snake ever anticipated. He seemed to be the centerpiece of the whole entire Metal Gear Solid series. One way you think it would probably be Liquid Snake, but it's not. It is actually Ocelot. Ocelot is the true arch rival of Solid Snake, and it meant when they came blows to blows, when it finally came to head, first by the jump cuts and by you playing as Snake versus Ocelot, you really felt this is it. This is the final battle. This is what you've been waiting for the whole entire years, 10 years for. You really wanted to play this character, and it's only fitting that Snake and Ocelot are the two to go one-on-one, head-to-head for the last time. No one else. And especially when you see the stories from the first Metal Gear Solid game to the third Metal Gear Solid game into now, it's only fitting that it does end like this. Again, I have this is a near perfect game for me. I actually really did like it. As a fan, coming in, knowing what was going in, I really was very happy and very glad to play this game. If I have any beef about this, is that I wish they actually evened it out, where there was actually just as much gameplay as it is cutscenes. But like I said, those who are coming in know they're going to have a lot of cutscenes coming in. That's what you actually play for, is most of the cutscenes. I also will say this, is that this has been pretty much a running joke, that Snake has pretty much an invisible pocket full of weapons he should not have, because like I said, you can load up in tons of weapons, and when he actually see these weapons get loaded up, you're like, where has he got the pockets for this? So it is one of those continuity things that I think that people just said, okay, we know he's going to have weapons carrying all over the place. We know he's going to have a box somewhere. But for anything else, it's not that ridiculous to the point where you can still enjoy the game. If you dwell on the stupidity of that, then you ain't gonna, you just basically just nitpicking. You know it, you say it's silly, but overall, was it still worth going through the gameplay? Was it still worth playing the story? Absolutely. This is one of those games that I felt that is the crowning icing on the cake for the Metal Gear Solid series. You notice I said a lot more about the game than the music, and the reason is the music is not bad. The orchestra is head on. It definitely matched well with the environment that they're trying to go through. That is not the problem. The problem is it's just forgettable. I guess, you know, hearing the original Metal Gear series, which I actually enjoyed, especially with the final, with the ending theme song through Metal Gear 2 and even 3. Hearing the score for this one, it just didn't have no much staying power with me. It's not something that I actually go back and say, yeah, I remember this theme, that sticks in my head. A lot of the theme sticks in my head. I look at 1, the infiltration. I look at 2, the boss fights or the alarm. The ending theme from Metal Gear 1. The beginning theme from Metal Gear 2, Sons of Liberty. The infiltration to the oil tankers. The boss battles. all the way to the ending theme. That's perfect. Snake Eater, that alone, I liked. Including the theme song from Three Overall, I love. This one is just, it's good, but it's not to the point where I could actually recommend you spend $44 for. And yes, that's how much it's actually costs in some regions. It's a lot of money for that theme song. But in all, it's not deterring me from the game. The game is great. The music, however, is for gameplay quality. Yes, for holding it as part of the video game soundtrack collection. Not necessarily. Unfortunately, that's one of the major glitches I had with this. It's just when I hear the music, it doesn't just stay with me. But unfortunately, that just goes with the territory. Something has to be weak, and if that's the weakest part of the whole entire game experience, so be it. Because everything else that I mentioned really kicks it up. This is the last Metal Gear I will be reviewing, and for reasons why I'm not doing Metal Gear, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snake, is because it's pretty much a remake of the original. So it's really no sense of me rehashing it. The only difference they have between the two games is the fact that they actually put elements from Metal Gear 2 into that first game. But in all, there's no reason for me to review it. And as for 5, have to play it first, have to hear the music. Can't review somebody I haven't played yet. It's just, to me, honestly, 1 through 4. To me, that's pretty much the end of it. I think that's pretty much sums up everything. Everything pretty much came to a close with 4, and to me, it was way overdue, but was still worth the wait. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Have you played any of the Metal Gear games? Did you like it? Didn't like it? Have you played 4? Did you enjoy it or found it annoying? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section. I'd like to hear you guys' opinion of it, especially for those who are huge Metal Gear Solid fans. But until then, more games reviews to come, more music games reviews to come. Until then, J77 saying take care, be safe. I'll talk to you soon.